extensions are required, no downloads or plugins of any sort, because again, it's just another tab that pop-ups in front of the user. It's compatible, because of this, it's compatible with all devices, smartphones, tablets, desktops. It works with all browsers, including Safari. Safari today has a huge market share, and extensions are not. Safari has no extensions, right? So if your application has a lot of users using Safari, by using My Algo Connect as your way to transact, you're enabling all users from all browsers to use it, and you don't have to be, you don't have to care about that. And it's a very good solution, right? Because in the sense that it provides a similar user experience to what everyone's used to. Like whenever you sign up to a new application or log into a new application, you're used to just using the Google pop-up or the PayPal pop-up to pay for things, right? So this provides a very similar experience. It has the Ledger wallet support that a lot of you guys were looking forward to. It also has application transaction support and bulk or group transactions, so you can sign a lot of things at the same time with My Algo Connect. And Ricky and Atomic transactions are supported, right? So you guys can see how we're at Randlabs pretty focused on putting a lot of efforts on My Algo Connect, because these are features that are not even supported today on the wallet interface, but are supported on the My Algo Connect interface, giving you guys an idea of how of a priority this is in our product line. And a big thing is that you guys will also be able to leverage all of My Algo's user base, right, which is growing pretty fast. And basically by connecting to My Algo through this tool, any of our users will be able to interact with your application. And also multi-sig capabilities are coming. So quickly, just summarizing this, comparing more traditional ways of doing things with Algo Signer or MetaMask. Again, it's much better experience for your users. They do not need to download anything, compatible with all devices and browsers, and it provides a user experience that everyone's used to. And I think those are extremely important if you want your application to succeed. So without further ado, I want to pass this presentation to Pablo, who will take you guys over into a more technical, in-depth review on how to connect your application to My Algo. So I'll stop sharing. Pablo, you're muted, by the way.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pablo Iago. As Michel said, I'm working on Randlabs since the startup, so I'm the co-founder with him. So I want to present here some examples of how to use My Algo Connect within your DApp application. So first, the idea of Algo Connect is to take advantage of some browser APIs that already exist, like Post Message and Ad Event Listener. And we created a new API that is called Send Message, where a window can post a message in the same way they use a post message and wait until the message is answered or timeouts. So with this API, you can create a send message to another window or tab synchronously and wait until it answers or timeouts. Taking advantage of this new API that we developed, we created all these My Algo Connect to sign transactions from any DApp. Here, you can see that the way it works, My Algo Connect, it works similar of any plugin connector. The idea is to have a similar functionality. First, you have to connect your wallet. You unlock the wallet, and you select the wallet, one of the wallets that you have in My Algo already created. So you don't create wallets, you connect them directly with this interface. On the code side, you just call a connect, and the connect generates this pop-up to connect your wallets. This is a code snippet. it's not the real code. It has some more handlers in general. So the idea was to reduce the complexity so you can just see what is important. One thing that is important is that all the transactions that you are signing are verified by myalgo.com and not the third-party website. So, for example, here I will create a payment transaction, and all this window, you see the website is myalgo.com. So all the transactions are verified by myalgo.com. So the summary information of the transaction, it's rendered by myalgo.com, so the user can verify that. In this example, for example, if I want to use, if this wallet was a Ledger wallet, I would use my hardware wallet to sign this transaction. So using my Algo Connect, as Michelle said, takes advantage of all the features that we have developed in our roadmap and the ones that we will develop in the future. So that's the main advantage of this. Here I will sign the transaction. This is a mnemonic transaction. So I just insert the password, and you see the transaction is here. Here is the transaction, and you see that the transaction ID is the same that it shows here. Here, the second example, it's a multi-sig payment transaction. The multi-sig payment transaction, here is I have this multi-sig transaction that it's a multi-sig with this address and this other address. And we are not using our multi-sig infrastructure for this. It's just signing from this from address, and we are adding the other signature by code. The signature is hard coded in the code, so that's something to tell. I will send to this address. You will see all the details here, and I sign. Again, we've got the transaction, and we got the transaction here. This is another example where instead of creating the transaction and signing the transaction, we use a till transaction. I don't know how familiar you are with till. Maybe we can run a poll here, Russ, about how familiar are people with the technology in general. And here you can see that you sign in the code, you sign in these two lines of code.
So I got two polls running right here. The first one is, are you a developer? Yes or no. If you could take a look at the poll tab. And then as soon as we get a few responses in, I'll ask you a second one on your experience with wallets. And looks like we got some polls coming in. And can you, Pablo, anyway, bump your font up a little bit on your screen there?
Sorry?
Can you bump the font size up a little bit on your screen? Make it a little bigger, if possible.
Which
okay,
one?
So just right that screen we're looking at right now, if you can.
It's a bit small.
A little bit, yeah. All right, so we have yes developers about 9 to 3, and then let's pull the next one. which is, do you have experience with plugins like wallets such as MetaMask and Algo Signer? Oh yeah, that's better. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Okay, sorry.
So we got it's about half and half so far, far as having experience with wallets. So we got 7 no, 5 yes. There you go. Go ahead and continue. Thanks.
Okay, so I will make a simple explanation about how the till works in very simple. When you sign a till, there are different ways to work in till. I will only talk about the delegation, where you sign a till and any other account can use this till to send transaction on behalf of your address. The address signing will be this 46 address, and this address will sign a till, and this till will be used to sign a transaction. So in this, if the till verifies, I mean that it verifies that the transaction it's consistent of the till with the till code, the transaction can go through. Otherwise, it will fail or it won't exist really. Here you see that we use Algo Connect, my Algo Connect, with this function where you sign the till. You don't sign the transaction. So I will put here, I will sign, and you see here the till that you are signing. In this till is very restrictive, really. The idea is to show only a basic functionality where you cannot make mistakes. This transaction ID is the one that we are sending. So it only works with the transaction I'm sending right now. You have here that it's the MyAlgo will show you that it's a logic seek transaction. It shows the till address. In this case, it's not important because we are making a delegation, and I will go ahead and sign the transaction. After that, with the till signed, Algo SDK will sign the transaction with the till that is signed and then send the transaction. We see the transaction that went through to the wallet. So I think that this is maybe the most complex example here. Okay, I will take care of the questions afterwards. Okay, the other example is the ASA transfer. It's I think most will understand about this example. It's just send some ASA to another account. So the idea, of course, both accounts are opt-in, and the from has enough balance to send the transaction. I'm using Monerium Euro ASAs that are verified in testnet. And here you will see all the information about the transaction. And also you will see that the ASA, as it is verified by us, you will see even the icon of the ASA. And here is the transaction. And you see in the wallet as well. Now we will present this a few stateful till transactions. Here we created this application just for testing purposes. It's a scroll application, and we will send first an opt-in. It's the opt-in, for those that are not familiar with this. In the same way you need to opt in with an ASA, you need to opt in to an application. So before making any application calls that in particular that involve having a local store on your account, you need to opt in to allow the application to store data on behalf of you. So the idea here is to create an opt-in application call. We will see it again here. Here is the application call. And then maybe it's an interesting example where this address creates a application call to the application that we opt in. But in this case, you see that there are more than one transactions that we are signing in a row. So we are sending this amount to more than one address. That's a summary. That the idea is to show a summary here that it's related to all the money movements that is generating this transaction array. If you, for example, have like a atomic swap, you will see that there is a movement of algos and also a movement of another token. So the idea is to summarize in this header what is going on all the transactions that you are signing. That's if you are signing 100 transactions, it will show the summary as well. So that's the idea behind this, and that's about something that is great about Algorand technology, is that just analyzing the transaction array, we can tell the money movements that are involved in this transaction array. Of course, in application calls and stateful till, there are some side effects that we cannot see in just analyzing the transactions, but we can see most, in particular with atomic transfers. I will go ahead and sign the transaction array. And we will see the transaction again here. And they appear because there are two transactions instead of one. And if we go and we see the transaction, we see that they are part of a group. This is the group ID, and these are the two transactions. One, the application call, and the other, it's the transfer of 1.24 algos to the scroll account. If we used Ledger for this, it will be a bit more complex because a Ledger doesn't support a transaction array. So the user using Ledger will need to sign each transaction individually. That won't happen with mnemonic accounts. So that's a difference that you have to take into account with Ledger. And finally, we opt out of the application. You see the application ID, and also you see all the information that you need to sign the transaction. Again, everything comes here. And that's all the examples I've got. This website you can use freely, and also you you can, there is this, I will paste here the website and also the source code of this website that you can use as a reference of these examples. We will keep these examples for a while. I don't know if we will keep them forever, but at least for 1 month they will be there. So if anyone wants to use them, go ahead and use them. So now I don't know if there are some questions about it looks like.
It's also worth noting that there's now a Discord channel for My Algo Connect. So later on, if you guys are integrating this to your application and you have any questions that you want answered fast, we'll have team members on that Discord channel to address any issues you guys have or questions to help you or assist you in integrating your application to it.
Okay, I can start answering some questions. I see one that it's the side effects of the applications, application calls. There can be multiple side effects. That's based on the smart contract technology. Because, for example, if you have an application that after a call you release an amount of money, and you create an application call, and then the money can be released. So the side effect will be to release the amount of money. And that is impossible to control if you don't simulate the call run. And even with that, it's really difficult to know the side effects of what is going on. Even with a dry run of the application call, which is like a debugging or a simulation of the execution, it's very difficult to see that. So in that way, you will need, as a user, you need to know who you are signing your transaction to. So that is something that if you are participating on smart contract, or for example, like a DeFi application, you need to trust in that application, in the sense that you need to verify that it's full audited, if the code is correct, if they didn't have any incident, if the team is good enough. So that happens in all the smart contracts on all the blockchains. So that's about the side effects. So the test, it's available. The user base numbers, I really don't know exactly, but there are like quite a lot right now, and it's growing a lot. In the last months, they grew really. Each month maybe double the other month. So I don't know the number, but it's not thousands a day, but it's hundreds a day, and a big amount of hundreds, like maybe 300 to 500 per day. Unique visitors, I mean. The multi-sig algorithm, it's we are using Algo SDK for this. I don't know if it's clear about that. It's Algorand has its own multi-sig capabilities, and we are using that. We are not inventing a new multi-sig algorithm. Our multi-sig wallet in MyAlgo, that it's different from this example, we use our own server to distribute the signatures just, but the multi-sig itself, it's we are using Algorand multi-sig. Okay, and I don't know if there is another question about this.
Looks like there's no more questions. Anyone else has any questions or for about anything?
All right, guys. Well, thanks, everybody. It looks like we don't have any additional questions at this time, so we're going to wrap it up here. Pablo and Michelle, thanks very much for taking this time to show us all about Algo Connect. This is a great tool for developers to connect their web applications to the dApps that they're building on the Algorand network, and we appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much, Ryan. I'm excited to have everyone start using this new Algo Connect tool. We're going to be putting a lot of efforts into it.
Outstanding. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.